Hello and welcome to Cook UK. Today we're going to show you how to make the perfect apple crumble. Now, apple crumble is really one of the easiest things to make that you can possibly imagine. Even for those of you who don't like baking, you'll find this apple crumble comes out perfect every single time. Now what we're doing here is we're mixing the butter with the flour. The ingredients that we're going to use in this recipe are 10 ounces of flour, that's 280 grams. We use self-raising flour, but really it's not a problem to use plain flour either. We've got the sugar. We've just used granulated, we're going to use granulated sugar, and that's 6 ounces of that, which is 170 grams. And we've got the butter, which we're mixing in with the flour at the moment. And again, there's 6 ounces of butter, and that's 170 grams of that. The butter we're using is unsalted, but really there's very little difference between salted and unsalted butter. The amount of salt in salted butter is so minimal, it's almost irrelevant. So what we're trying to do here is mix the butter and the flour together, and we're aiming to get it so that there is a crumbly mixture, hence the name apple crumble. This is going to take us about anywhere between about 3 to 4.5 minutes. I've set the timer going there just behind, you can see there, just behind the this bowl on top of the red apples. And that started at, I think it started at 4.5 minutes. So we'll see how we do. Now it's better if you take the butter out of the fridge beforehand and let it get to room temperature, because then it's much easier to mix into the flour. And we've actually taken ours straight from the fridge, so this maybe take. So you have to keep on turning the crumble mixture so that all the flour is mixed in with all the butter. And you can see already it's starting to crumble. Now you can keep on going at this for ages and ages and ages. And if you do, you'll find that the butter, the texture of the butter will start to give out. So aim for the crumbles, but don't be too particular about the crumbling, each crumble being the same size. Right. Now, show you, there's the crumble mixture. So you can see it started to crumble here. Now, the next thing we're going to do is add some of the sugar. Now, this recipe calls for 6 ounces of sugar, or 170 grams. We're only adding in here 4 ounces of the sugar. That's roughly 110 grams. So we're just mixing the sugar in, and you'll find that that will make the mixture even more crumbly and even more evenly sized crumbles. You need to do this only for about a minute. Just make sure you turn up all the bits from the bottom so that it's fully mixed in. It is a good idea to do what I'm doing, which is lift up the mixture and then mix it in with your hands, if you're doing it with your hands, and let it fall back down. Right. That is our crumble mixture complete in about 5.5 minutes. So there we are, there's our crumble mixture. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take the apples, and we've got 3 largish cooking apples. We're using Brownlees, and what we're going to do is we're going to peel them, core them, and then cut them up into quarters, and then slice each quarter into about 6 slices. It's not crucial, but that's on average, that will do the job very well, about 6 slices. So when we've done that, we'll come back to you and we'll show you how to put the apples and the crumble into the dish ready for cooking. At this stage though, let me just say, it's a good idea to put the oven on, 80 degrees centigrade, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or gas mark 5. So that by the time we peel the apples and cut them up, the oven will be preheated, ready for our crumble. So what we've done is we've peeled, quartered and removed the core from the apples, and then we've sliced them into roughly 6 slices per quarter. It's not crucial. Then what we did was we put the apples in the bowl, so that they were in this bowl here, so that they were about between 1 to 2 centimetres below the rim level. We then sprinkled on, and don't forget this, we then sprinkled on our remaining 2 ounces of sugar, and we're now covering the apple mixture with as much crumble as we like. We like quite a lot of crumble. Just add less crumble if that's how you prefer it more appley. To make sure the crumble mixture goes to the edge. Doesn't have to be around particularly well, because this is all going to cook down. So there we have our perfect apple crumble ready to go in the oven. So we've cooked our crumble for 40 minutes in the oven, and there it is. Perfect apple crumble. You can, if the top hasn't browned, ours is browned okay, but if the top hasn't browned, you can actually put it under the grill for, I would say, about 25 seconds. You have to be very careful, because if you put it under the grill for too long, it will go black. But in a normal oven, 40 minutes worth of cooking, you get a brown top like that. So we'll just plate the apple crumble up and come back to you in a second. So there you have the perfect apple crumble. Serve it up with ice cream, custard or fresh cream. Apple crumble will keep in the fridge for a couple of days, no problem at all, and it is absolutely delicious when cold. So remember where you got the recipe from? It's cookuk.co.uk.